Did you know that new listings in Highlands Ranch, Colorado went up 186% month over month? What? Yep. Hey, it's Sean Reddy, Keller Williams Reddy Group, and welcome to the Highlands Ranch Market in a Minute. Full disclosure, going to take more than a minute to go through these numbers. Yet we're looking at the month over month and year over year trends in the Highlands Ranch real estate market and deciphering if they're moving in favor of buyers, if they're moving in favor of sellers, or if they're neutral. And the idea here is that if you are in the market, on the market, or planning to enter the real estate market in Highlands Ranch, that watching these trends can help you decide when the right time might be for you if you're trying to, capitalize on market conditions. So I already led off with the biggest mover. New listings went from 37 in December to 106 in January. So if you're one of those, hey, I'm going to wait till the new year, obviously you weren't alone, and expect the new listing numbers to continue to go up, thus creating more competition if you're selling a home. Yet if you're a buyer, and this obviously favors buyers, you have more options. You also have more leverage when you're crafting an offer on a home. So with that gigantic increase in new listings, we did see an increase in available homes, or inventory as it's called, although it's not as big as you think. 16% month over month, going from 116 to 135. We'll get into why here in a second. But it is an increase, and it is a favorable measure for buyers. Why? Because again, you have more options, more choice, more time to make decisions, and more leverage when you're making offers. Now, closed sales took a pretty stark drop month over month, 24% to be exact, going from 80 to 61. Not unsurprising, because we saw months in a row with lower purchase contracts, which ultimately culminate into these January closings. So 24% drop in purchase contracts. So that could be said that if you were a buyer in November, December, you had much less competition. Now, average and median close prices both dropped month over month. The average dropped 4%, the median dropped 3%. And let me put a caveat here. These are measured based on the homes that closed. So 61 closed sales on average were 730,000. Median was 700,000. But still, pretty big drops by percentage in those closing prices compared to December. What also dropped is the median sold price to list price ratio. What is that, you ask? Well, that is a relationship between final asking price of a home and the ultimate closing price of that home. So median was 97.9, meaning there was a median 2.1% spread between final asking price and selling price. So more deals were negotiated to lower prices based on that number. All right, let's flip it around. Let's bring some good news to the sellers out there. First and foremost, purchase contracts, huge jump in January, 31%, going from 68 new purchase contracts to 89. So buyers are coming out, they're buying the homes that are out there. That's why you saw a huge jump in new listings, but not an incremental jump in available homes. You also saw a lot of listings that had been sitting on the market for a long time just exit the market unsold. So that took away some of the inventory as well. Market times, both average and median, went down double-digit percentage. Double-digit numbers too. The average went down from 64 to 54 days, so that's a 16% drop. The median went down from 54 to 32 days, so that's a big 41% drop. Let's take a look now at the year over year. And there's some kind of surprising data in here. And I'm going to get right to it. The average selling price, now again, this is January of 24 to January of 25, dropped by 0.2%. You don't normally see a year over year price drop in Highlands Ranch, Colorado, especially given that's a 12-month runway, a long time for properties to appreciate. But in fact, it did drop from 731 and change to 729 and change. The median price went up though by 4.9%. So what that tells me is there's probably a pretty massive sale price point wise in January of 2024 that may have floated that average price up a bit. So I'm hinging a little bit more on the median price, going up let's call it 5% from 667.5 to 700 is probably more indicative of values as a whole. If you're a seller, here's some more good news. Purchase contracts, I already talked about them going up month over month. They also went up 10% year over year. Now, that also comes with a little bit of a caveat because we're not talking big numbers in Highlands Ranch. Purchase contracts went from 81 last year to 89 this year. But again, 10%. Now, if you're a buyer, the rest of this video is for you. It's all good news from here, baby. I'm going to start with market times. Although they dropped month over month, the median days on market, get this, up 300% year over year. Let me frame that a little bit more. January last year, 2024, median days on market was just 8. This year, 32. Yep, 300% increase. The average days on market, we look at average and median, the average days on market up 50% year over year. So, a lot longer market times. We can put it that way. That gives you as a buyer, again, more time to make decisions and process and look at more homes. But it also gives you a lot more leverage if the seller's thinking that 2024, early 24 market conditions may exist, and they simply do not. New listings up 32.5% year over year. 106 homes listed this year in January, only 80 last year. Available homes up 125%. So last year you only had 60 homes to look at on February 1st. This year, if you're buying a home, 135. Closed sales down 7.6%. And median sold price to list price ratio. Just making sure I'm looking at my sheet here, making sure that cover all of these. So there you have it to kind of give you the 10,000 foot view here. Most of the trends that we watch and report on are moving in the direction of favoring buyers. It is certainly not a full-blown buyer's market, yet you gotta imagine if these trends keep up, and they probably won't. We'll see some seasonality kick in and the spring effect and yada, yada, yada. However, if they did trend in this direction, Highlands Ranch would be in a buyer's market in 2025. We'll see how it shakes out. Lots to cover here in the coming weeks and months, and we're watching everything from macroeconomics to trade wars to mortgage rates and all that. But we appreciate you watching this. And if this brings you value, and maybe you want this, broken down by your specific neighborhood in Highlands Ranch, make sure to let us know. Drop a comment, find Sean Reddy on social media. Sean spelled correctly, S-E-A-N. And we want to be a resource for you too. So if you have real estate goals and you need some guidance or want some guidance through it, even if we don't work together, feel free to use this as a resource and give me a shout. Thanks so much for watching, and we'll see you next month.